These are things that I like to feed myself. I feed myself the best. And let me just be courting versus dating in this current day and age. Stay tuned to the end of this video for one woman's perspective. Go ahead and subscribe. Love food. I would take myself to really nice restaurants, sometimes 2 in a day, because I'm very central and I really enjoy food and I like to treat myself, right? Also, I was very clear that I wanted to be a chef that wasn't an overweight chef, right? So both sides of my family could really burn. These are the foods I like to eat. And if the blueberries cost $10, I'm going to pay $10. If they're $12, I'm going to treat myself, because I'm feeding, first of all, my brain is numero uno. But just in case nobody shared this information, some of us really, and this is not to be insulting, don't have mothers and fathers, and sometimes may not be aware, or maybe sometimes even mature mothers and fathers, or maybe sometimes our parents take us to where they can go with the information. They do the best they could with the information that's available to them. Hoarding makes more sense, and when you get to a certain phase of life, now you've acquired more wisdom, right? So we can all admit in our 20s, we think we know everything, and we wind up sometimes making some of the worst mistakes in our lives, that sometimes errors in judgment, children are not a mistake, but we make errors in judgment that can last us about a quarter of a century, right? If you don't have health, you're going to be in a rotten mood. You won't have the energy or the brain power to be able to create honorable economics. If you don't have health, you have nothing. And then some things are out of your control. But do I want to be pushing somebody around in a wheelchair unnecessarily because of bad habits? No, it's eternal upgrade in terms of how we approach each other. And I would never really seek to get to know somebody through Facebook. I'm kind of shocked. It's like a low budget. I don't even know if we could even call it a dating site, because it's not a dating site. Greetings. This is Body-Culinary, and I'm just bringing you into the food prep with me really quick. So I did just a quick little market run, and thinking about my folks. So first of all, some really beautiful goodies that I got from the market. Some beautiful fresh blueberries. I love blueberries. And we got some kanya, some sugar cane. Right, purple sugar cane, so you can find the green sugar cane and also the purple. So I have some cut up right here, so you can use your machete to cut up the sugar cane. And then also, and interesting fact I'll point out about the sugar cane, so I got a nice bowl of it already cut up. And I have some fresh figs. So I love figs, especially when they're ripe. So there are several varieties of the figs. I'm just going to pull this off. And figs are considered like an ambrosia. Some people say the food of the gods, if you will. You can see the seeds in there, right? So Mother Nature has seeds in the food, and this food is such a wonderful food for women. And they say it's a very sensual food, or a food that's like that denotes sweetness. They say it's the food of the gods. It's something that quote unquote lovers feed to each other. So I'm loving on myself, so I'm going to feed myself some fresh figs, and these are ripe. You don't really taste what the figs should taste like when they're not ripe. These are delicious. So I'm having some fresh figs. And actually, when they're soft but not totally mushy, when they're really soft, that's when you know that they're ripe. I got a couple of cucumbers. I'm going to save those to share with my sister. So I have a nice bowl of fresh figs. I have some blueberries and some sugar cane. So this is what I'm serving up to myself. And I'm someone, I do not skimp when it comes to, look at that, isn't that beautiful? I do not skimp when it comes to my food. Who's in there? Tybrika, hey, Calvin, delicious, greetings. So sending you all a nice shout out from Central America. So these are things like, I don't play when it comes to my food, because I'm worth it. I was someone that years ago, I was a junk food addict. And so I remember, epiphanies over time, the 25-cent bags of Bonton barbecue potato chips, eating one after another and I was never full. So as you mature, you realize there's no nutrition in there. It's a mouthful of artificial flavor and crunch, but I'm never going to get full because it doesn't have nutrition, and it totally jacked my skin up. Hey, greetings, Reynolds. So These are things that I like to feed myself. I feed myself the best. And let me just be real. I used to be a junk food junkie, like low end all the way to high end. When I was in culinary school and after culinary school, I externed at actually one of the top restaurants in New York. So I really love food. I would take myself to really nice restaurants, sometimes 2 in a day, because I'm very central and I really enjoy food and I like to treat myself, right? Also, I was very clear that I wanted to be a chef that wasn't an overweight chef, right? So both sides of my family could really burn, the Caribbean and the southern side, the Afro, quote unquote, American, with the Afro side of my family from the South. So I really enjoy eating. So just to know, these are the foods I like to eat. And do you know I'm a mother? I also have nieces out there. So I'm always going to represent for my nieces, as well as I'm a community mama and the young women that are in my siphon that are around me. I really care because that's like caring about me. I also care. I have a son, right? And I care about the young people that are around me. So that being said, as I've started to share, and I also got some nice cucumbers, and these are not wax. You see, these are not all shiny, these are not wax. So when the cucumbers are organic, you can eat the skin, which has a lot of silicone in it, which is really good for your skin, your hair, and your nails. Makes it very elastic. So got that. Also have the blueberries here. So if I want to snack, this is what I'm going to feed myself. If the blueberries cost $10, I'm going to pay $10. If they're $12, I'm going to stretch, my funds out. But I'm going to treat myself because I'm feeding, first of all, my brain is numero uno. I know everybody cares about the skin and the muscles and all of that good stuff, but I'm feeding my brain, number one. I prioritize the health of my sacred parts, right? My natural born, with all my natural born parts, my breasts and my womb, my internal organs, my liver, my spleen. So this is what I'm feeding myself. So as I've shared, there's been an influx of men folks and people looking for stuff online. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't control people's intentions and stuff, but just in case nobody shared this information, some of us really, and this is not to be insulting, don't have mothers and fathers, and sometimes maybe not be aware, or maybe sometimes even mature mothers and fathers, or maybe sometimes our parents take us to where they can go with the information. They do the best they could with the information that's available to them. But if I had known about this as a child, this is what I would have been eating, no problem. All of us have a sweet tooth. And as a woman, as someone that's worked in the holistic health field and at a holistic health center, one of the primary complaints of women was fibroid tumors and cysts. I've even seen women bring in pictures of them. So even though men folks come on this channel, you all have women in your lives. You have aunties, mothers, and sisters. So maybe these are things that you don't know until your mom is in the hospital. And sometimes we don't discuss this stuff. But if the people around you are healthy, that's better for you. So this is something, hint, 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 folks, that you can gift to the women in your lives. And also, I just want to share something about courting, right? Maybe people don't use that term anymore. I was never really comfortable with the term dating. And I remember growing up hearing the term dating on this show called Happy Days. So I don't know how the age group of folks, but this one of these regular shows with this family and Fonzie and Archie and all American family. But when folks were checking each other out, I guess they were supposed to be on the show in their early teens. They spoke about dating. Somehow the term dating just never, I don't know, for some reason it never really gelled with me. Maybe I had the idea of people just trying each other out and trying each other on for size. But courting makes more sense. And when you get to a certain phase of life, now you've acquired more wisdom, right? So we can all admit in our 20s, we think we know everything, and we wind up sometimes making some of the worst mistakes in our lives, that sometimes errors in judgment, children are not a mistake, but we make errors in judgment that can last us about a quarter of a century, right? And totally take us off track, and sometimes even quite often continue cycles of generational poverty, right? If we're just immature and sometimes just ignorant, not stupid, but just ignorant, unaware, and cocky. So I'm just going to share because I have a son, but some folks may not have a mother to speak to them, or maybe even a sister. So, as I would say to my son, sometimes if you may see a young lady, and if she eats a lot of junk food and her jeans are super, 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 super tight, and with a whole lot of how you say, perfumes and stuff, she may not have an awareness. This does not make her bad or wrong. She may not have awareness about internal hygiene. Because I would tell my son all the time, hygiene is not just washing and putting a bunch of deodorant soaps on. Hygiene is internal. Hygiene is the food that you eat. So foods are very cleansing. I make an effort to choose my words very carefully, so hopefully no one is offended. But if anything resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, because I know we're in a time when people are very sensitive, please, by all means, toss it in the garbage. Toss it in the garbage if this does not resonate with you. But foods are cleansing, and we want to eat foods that cleanse the organs. They taste good. You can still have the party in your mouth, right? But everything we put into our body, it affects the brain and it affects the temple and the organs. So if we look around our community, just us, and we look at our midsections, and we look at the rates of diabetes and cancer and the comorbidities, the diseases that like to hang around in a gang, usually following obesity. And you don't have to be like this, morbidly obese, to be technically via your numbers in the midsection obese, which is the most dangerous kind of obesity. But usually following that, we have the comorbidities, diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. So I want you to think, just think for a moment. I invite you just to think. If you're working hard and you're making money, or you're striving to get to another level economically, and you're grinding, you go to a financial planner, right? Or maybe you're looking on YouTube to get advice about how to use your money and spend your money. If you go to and make it grow, right? A financial planner is going to ask you, what do you want your money to do for you in the next 10, 20, 30 years? So I invite you to think, what do you need your body to do for you in the next 5, 10, 20 years? And if you plan on being in a relationship and engaging, that's important information, or it's important for you and your potential partner to be on the same page. If nothing else, if we don't talk about the labels, just in terms of health, because do you want to turn around and take all of that hard-earned cash and give most of it to the doctor and spend the time that you can really be enjoying yourself once you've gotten your education and you're in your career or your life path, and you're spending 4 days, 5 days, at least 4 days. I've seen it with clients. Their parents spend most of the time at the doctor's office, right? So it's costing us. We can talk about other folks, but let's take some ownership. It's 2020, at least by this current calendar. Let's take some ownership, because it could really free us up. Would you rather spend on the blueberries and the figs, right? I'm not talking about dieting. Or would you rather enjoy food that doesn't leave waste on your waist and contributes to you being in a good mood, right? Isn't that beautiful? Can I really call potato chips beautiful? And I used to be addicted to, oh my God, I was addicted to Pringles. I was addicted to Bon-Ton potato chips, the crunchy cheese doodles. It was a hot mess. I love flavor. I'm very sensual when it comes to taste. So it's amazing to me that I really adore the food that I'm eating. So I'm giving you brothers a hint. This is what you want to feed the women in your life. Spend the money. I mean, still to us to be talking about going to, not knocking it, but if that's your choice, knock yourself out. But Popeyes and these fast food chains. Maybe we should be thinking about investing in farms, right? There are options open to us right in front of our nose. Start a garden. That, as a woman, is what I find attractive. And if a young woman comes and asks me, I would be very wary of someone that wants to share their toxic habits with me. I don't want a man to share a blunt. That's just me. I'm not interested in alcohol, drugs. Why? I get, the CBD oil and the plants have healing properties and all that. But when I look around, I'm really honest, most of the people I see are really trying to just chillax and take the edge off of stress. I don't see most people looking to the herbs, right? Because it comes from the earth, looking to it for healing, because if most of us were looking for healing, then we'll be changing our food. So, I mean, come on, if we're really honest with ourselves. If you disagree, toss it in the garbage. I'm not here to debate with folks. But if we're just smoking, like that's going to heal everything, and we don't address our food, don't address the sleep, don't address all the violence that we're watching, I mean, come on. Does that really make sense? So if a young woman asks me, or if a young man asks me, I'm going to look at what somebody is eating, whatever your budget is. I've been in all different kinds of situations. Your finances ebb and they flow. in life. Hopefully, as you mature and you get some wisdom, you're managing your economics, whatever it is that you have available to you, and you're making the best use of not only your economics but your time. Your time. Being sick costs you time and energy. Eating junk, it seems like it's fast food, but it's going to cost you more. You're never going to get full. You're never going to get satisfied. I don't want to share junk food with anybody. So for all the men folks, with all due respect, thank you so much for your compliments. And if you have good intentions, we'll take it there. But for folks to slide in my DM, hey, mama, this and that, do you know what kind of food I like? Let me just kick it to the sons and the brothers out there. Do you ever check? Do you ever inquire? Do you pay attention to what women like? And do you want a quality? Or what kind of qualities? Because, I'm not going to condemn somebody. It's not for me to condemn anybody. But I'm just saying what I would prefer is health. That is a number one value and a priority. If you don't have health, you're going to be in a rotten mood. You won't have the energy or the brain power to be able to create honorable economics. If you don't have health, you have nothing. And then some things are out of your control. But do I want to be pushing somebody around in a wheelchair unnecessarily because of bad habits? No, it's a turnoff. If somebody is misusing their genitals, what do they have to bring to you if they're irresponsible? So I find that food is very foundational in your thought process. It's a mentality, what you choose to put into your body. This is not a diet. It's delicious. It loves me back. My skin could heal. My brain could heal. It has all the water and fiber and everything intact, and the nutrients that work in synergy with each other. This is what I prefer. And if this is what I like to eat, this is what I want to invest in. These are good ideas to invest in the stock market, or, all the black folks that are returning to grow farms in the South. Are we thinking? We're saying we're kings and queens, but are we using those king and queen superpowers? So I invite you to think about, and I prefer the term courting, at least for me, at least this woman, this chocolate woman over here. This is what I like. I like watermelon. I like fresh pineapple. Did you take a minute to consider what I like before, it's 2020. And for all of us to mature, to attract something different of quality. If this applies to you, take it. If not, toss it in the garbage. But if you're looking to attract quality in terms of the people in your cipher, responsibility, do you prioritize what you're putting into your mouth? Because I can tell you, it's a mentality. Men folks, do you think about, when you engage intimately, what you release, not just in terms of making a baby, but that to a quality individual, should you decide to parent, but the secretions that you have in your body, are they acidic to your potential mate? When you decide, and if you're taking your time, right? If you want quality, do you want junk food? Do you want greasy fast food relationships? Are those the kind of conversations you want to have? So it's up to us, once we have the information, to upgrade. We can always upgrade. And I invite folks, take your time. Sometimes you're in a rush to get into something that looks like it's a pleasant package. But if you just watch, let me tell you something. Let me let you in on a little secret. What folks feed themselves, and it doesn't mean just because somebody eats raw living foods that they are a nice person. No, that's not the whole picture. However, it's a big cue. How you see people consume is going to tell you a lot about a person, about their temperament, right? About their standards for themselves. Don't you want quality? If I want quality, I don't need 100 men. I don't need 20. You know what I'm saying? Just quality. One, his demeanor. Responsibility is so attractive. Health and physical fitness. I'm not saying you have to be a gargantuan bodybuilder, a natural fit physique. Somebody has discipline, control over their emotions. If somebody's eating a whole bunch of crap, I highly doubt that they'll have the mental fortitude to make good decisions, right? It's not everything, but it's huge in your toolbox, what you're eating. So for the men folks, that all of those men folks that have gone in my particular inbox, I didn't go in your inbox, you came in my inbox, and I've made a couple of videos on etiquette for men to deal respectfully with women. Sometimes maybe people don't read it, they're just moving really fast. But if you're coming into my inbox, hey mama, this and that, it kind of, it just kind of, I just find it immature or whatever folks are used to, I don't find it attractive. I just don't find it attractive. You didn't check anything about me. You didn't ask any questions. You didn't do any kind of investigation. So let's upgrade, y'all. Let's upgrade so we can get quality, right? As a woman, our beauty has a purpose. Beauty is meant to inspire. I could say for myself as a woman in her natural state, we inspire, we motivate, we make things better. And women have a whole nother kind of strength, right? That's how we're able to have babies, right? We find all kinds of things to create with the fruits and vegetables. We find other ideas to things to do with the money, and we're complements of each other, right? I came here through a man and a woman, through a woman's womb, right? But I'm the essence. I was made by a man and a woman, so we're complementary. But I'm just here to say, just like let's upgrade in terms of how we approach each other. And I would never really seek to get to know somebody through Facebook. You know, I'm kind of shocked. It's like a low budget. I don't even know if we could even call it a dating site, because it's not a dating site. So let's vet, qualify people before you let them into your psyche or into your body, because you're quick. You know, my mother said trouble is easy to get into and it's hard to get out of, right? Go for the quality. I invite you, go for quality food, go for quality people. And if a woman is hard to get at, that's better for you. That's better for you if the woman is harder to get to. If I spend all this time to cultivate myself and take care of myself and my fitness, and I'm constantly learning about economics, and I love to learn. If I'm going to put all this time into myself, I don't want random. Hopefully you don't want random either. You want good quality. I want the real thing. I want the real food. I don't want the imitation. I want it. So the good stuff is rare. You know, so value your energy. Courting, take your time. You know what I'm saying? That's what's attractive to a woman, is somebody that's responsible with their economics, responsible with their organs, responsible with their words. Somebody that can be firm and strong, but pleasant, with a pleasant demeanor. If I see somebody's backside showing, it's a turn off. If I see somebody drunk and high, it's not attractive to me. Now, there are plenty of women that find that cool in the music videos and stuff. I love good music. I love to dance. I'm not a drinker or a smoker. That's what I find attractive. And if any young people come over to me, that's what I have to share. So this is my simple offering. I'm going to enjoy my blueberries and my sugar cane and my fresh figs. This is what I love. This is what I enjoy. I invite you. The woman, see what the woman likes. Do you come bearing any kind of gifts, but you want to entice and you want a woman's attention? And if somebody's giving it to you free, I would be wary, as I would say to my son, I would be wary of anyone that would let you, I don't even like the term hit it. That sounds so violent. That sounds disgusting to me. But somebody that I get the colloquialisms and the slang, but you know, the vibration of it. If somebody's letting you into their space with no vetting process very easily, I would be very, very wary, because most likely their energy is opened up, you know, to others. And we're setting the standard for each other. It's not a competition about who's got it, you know, the worst, right? It's time for a new narrative. You may have been victimized, as many human beings have gone through trauma, but it's your responsibility to write a new narrative and work with what you have available to you. So this is a choice. This is a choice. Also, do understand, if you've been eating junk for many years, the stuff has to come out. It's going to come out through your skin, your poop, better out than in. So I'm going to say this. How about everybody just let's just keep our genitals to ourselves and work on ourselves and heal ourselves. I mean, come on, we're like oversexed at this point. There's so much sex with a total lack of intimacy, total unattractive, total disqualifier. I can appreciate somebody that's very attractive physically, but when you get to a certain point, hopefully you've acquired enough wisdom where you know that's not enough. Don't you want quality? Don't you want quality? I want quality. I enjoy quality. I'm willing to wait. Life wisdom will learn you. Wisdom is hard earned, especially for a woman, because for women, technically society tosses women away. They have a small window in their 20s and their 30s, right? Then they're considered old. And so people it's like a competition of who keep using each other almost like using each other up like toilet paper. And then we wonder why we have so many situations. So let's take our time. Go for quality. Somebody that's really going to appreciate and cherish you. But it starts with appreciating and cherishing yourself, and huge in your foundational toolbox is the foods, the energy that you're feeding yourself. If you're just eating, and I'm not talking about the label, lots of violence sitting in your womb. You know, that's the energy. Men folks out there, are you eating your pumpkin seeds? Are you learning a basic minimum on how to keep yourself healthy? Or are you waiting for somebody to give you a diagnosis of prostate cancer, which is super high, upper 80s for men of color, in case you haven't checked. So while we're busy with all these videos and being distracted, check your health. Check your health. Check your health. Check your health. Women also. Does a man care about his health? Does he eat any old thing? You know, do you allow somebody to feed you anything because we're so hungry for attention? Turn it around, give it to yourself, and then we can upgrade and get something better. So I just wanted to share that today. I'm going to enjoy my figs and get some more chores in before the sun goes down, and create a great rest of the day on purpose. Check Body-Culinary out on Instagram and also on YouTube. See you soon! So everybody can grow something.